Hey, what's up? I'm Jeff Leeson, and this is the story of the worst bomb I have ever had. When I was about 19 or 20 years old, just a few years into stand-up comedy, I was working pretty consistently as the opening act, a middle or a feature act. So I start sending out packages. What you would do is you would mail a headshot. You would often include a resume that had all the clubs and shows you've done, and then some sort of DVD, or VHS or DVD or whatever you had. One club that was in Pennsylvania got back to me and said, "We'd love to have you. Are you available on this weekend?" And I said, "Yes, I am. I would love to be there." And when they sent the information, I was making way more money than I normally made. Then they send me the promo material for the show, and I'm listed on the poster as the headliner of the show. They must have seen something in the DVD or something in the video that I sent them that made them think that I was a headliner. What I should have done was say, "Listen, I'm an opening act. There's been some mistake here." But the money was amazing at the time. I was so young. That was the most I'd ever made for anything, let alone telling jokes to people. So I decided I'm not going to say anything. If they think I'm ready, I'm ready. Now, in stand-up comedy, when you are the headliner of the show and you do not bring your own opening act, you have no idea who is going to be opening for you. You could get somebody with very little experience, or you could get somebody with quite a lot of experience who's about to make the jump up to being a headliner. In this case, that's what I got. The gentleman that opened for me goes up. Everything was going pretty well for him from the very beginning. They definitely liked him. He was obviously very good. But his closer meaning the last joke that he did, ended with him bringing someone from the audience on stage and then giving them a lap dance. And the crowd went fucking nuts. People were standing up, like not a standing ovation. I mean, like they were laughing and enjoying themselves so much they could not sit down anymore. They had to stand up and do like a little twirl and then sit back down in their chair. It was unfucking believable. I'd been doing comedy 5.5, maybe 6 years total. I had never, ever seen somebody destroy a room like that, and I had to follow it. He finishes to a thunderous applause. Standing ovation, like jump out of your seat standing ovation. They're not taking their time standing up. They're not mulling it over. They jumped up. They wanted to immediately say, "That was so fucking good, I'm up." When you walk off the stage, you go to the left of the stage and then you walk through the people. I mean, this guy, it was like he needed security almost. After he's done, there's a host that has to go back up on stage. They were still cheering while the host is talking. He goes back up, says, "Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time." You didn't need to say that. They're already doing it. Give it up one more time. They didn't stop the first time. They are cheering, they're banging tables, they're stomping their feet. A lot of people still standing. In this particular room, there wasn't like a green room backstage area. You just were at a table at the back, so everybody's turning, looking at him, basically still clapping for him, looking at him at the back of the room. And I'm standing there, and now I am nervous. Until that point, I had never had to follow something like that, ever. So I go up, and they are still cheering. They finally sort of settle down. I go into my first joke. My first bit was a thing I wrote in my hotel room that night. It was about the town that I was in and nothing. I go into a bit that I had been doing that was sort of my opener. It was a way to get people on my side and kind of draw them in so that nothing. I go into my third bit worse. And now I've lost them completely. And I can't get them back for 45 minutes. And the thing is, I started to realize this isn't going to work either. I knew what I was about to say, and my brain would go, they're going to hate it. Who cares? It was uncomfortable. It was awful. I started watching people slowly getting up and going back to the comedian that was at the back of the room, shaking his hand. There's chatter at the back. It's loud. People are out of it. They don't want to hear a word I have to say. I finish up. I walk off the stage. I have no trouble getting through the crowd. At the end of the show, when people leave, often comedians will stand out and greet them, say thank you, and sell merch. We both stood there side by side as one by one, a room full of people, probably 200, 250 people, every single one of them made a point to stop and express how incredible the show was that they witnessed from him. I mean, every single person that came out would go up and go, man, I have never seen anything like that. That was incredible. My wife wanted me to come out tonight, and I didn't want to come, and boy, oh boy, am I glad that I did, because you were amazing. And then they would turn and they would look at me and go, it was like this guy just won the NBA championship, and then they walked around the corner to a funeral where I was. Now we've got a second show. Second show begins. He goes up and kills harder. What? Harder than the first time. One guy stood on his chair to be higher than everyone else at the back when the guy walked off the stage so that he could see him giving him a standing ovation. Again, I go up. I try a different version of the opening thing. It's about their town. Nothing. I do a second version of of something about their town. No, shit. Sorry, I'm getting all riled up here. Nothing worked. 45 minutes. Not a laugh. There might have been one of these. Might have been. Again, we stand out there. Again, people coming up, shaking hands, high-fiving, taking pictures. People loved this man. He was a hero, and I was not. Whatever the opposite of a hero is, I was that. A villain, maybe, because they hated me. So that night, Friday night, I go up to my room. I have the thought in my mind that I should go down the next night, and I should tell the owner of the club to reverse us. Let me open for this guy and let him take it from there. But for some reason, I don't know what it was, ballsiness or stupidity I had as a young comedian. I somehow convinced myself after a sleepless night that it's okay. I can handle it. Well, here we go. Saturday night. People are even more excited on a Saturday night typically because Friday you're working all day and then you go out to the show. Energy can be a little low. Saturday, they've slept in. They've had the day to themselves. They've relaxed. Now they're going out. They've had some drinks. They're excited. And were they ever? But not for me. This guy goes up once again, 8 o'clock and 10:30, and absolutely outdoes Friday. And I go up again, 2 out of 2. Nothing. 4 shows, 4 bombs, every one worse than the last. And that's the story, guys. Dan, do you have any questions?
Do you think there was any chance that you would have done good if you didn't have that guy opening in front of you?
Oh, great question. I still think I wasn't ready to headline. If the opening act wasn't quite as explosive, I think I still wouldn't have been a great headliner. I don't think anybody would have walked out of there thinking like, wow, that guy that was last was terrific. I think they would have left saying that was not a great show overall. I'm not going to blame the bomb on him because I think I probably still would have bombed. The only thing that he did was he really accentuated that bomb.
Did you have any awkward interactions with the booker after that while you were trying to get your money?
Excellent question. Yes, I did. When he handed me the envelope full of money, I did feel like I was robbing him. I didn't feel good about what he was doing, and I can tell by his face, he didn't either. Great questions today, Dan. And thank you guys for being here. I certainly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Also, if you're watching this right now on our YouTube channel, it would be great if you'd go ahead and like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. We would certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have the greatest fucking day of your life.
I fucking will, Jeff. I fucking will.
Not you, them.